and welcome to my little bookish corner of the internet. My name is Harriet. Today I'm going to be doing my spoiler-free review for Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have already done a review for Malibu Rising. I've done a review for The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by the same author as well. So if you want to check those out, I'll leave them linked down below. But I had really high hopes going into this book because the author is one of my favourites. I feel like she's really good at writing amazing characters, so I was super excited to read this book. Basically, the premise of the book is it's written in an interview style, which in itself is really unique, something I've never really read before. But through this interview style, we are following members of a band called Daisy Jones and the Six, and we are following all of the band members as they kind of talk about what happened during their time as a band and why they split up. So it's kind of them coming out eventually and saying what happened because people didn't really know. And yeah, I just thought that I was really going to love this, but instead I have quite a lot that I want to talk about. So everyone and their mum has been talking about this book for such a long time. It's been out for a little while, but it still gets mentioned quite a lot on BookTube and Bookstagram, so it's quite big in the book community. And I just wasn't blown away. I was blown away by Reid's other books, like The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, one of my favourite books ever. It made me feel things that I didn't know I could feel. But yeah, this book just didn't do that for me. So I'm going to talk about why. Now, some of the things I really did like would be the interesting way that it's written. So I actually did enjoy the interview style. I thought that was really interesting, and again, something that I never really read before. And I felt like it was a nice way to read a book quickly because you don't have all this extra description about like a landscape or where these people are going. It's literally just people talking. I did find that really interesting, and it made for a really simple and accessible read. However, I felt like I was lacking that character development because I didn't really get to see much of the characters. It's just them kind of talking at someone who's interviewing them. So yeah, I didn't really feel a deep connection to any of the characters, which then meant the events that were happening and the things they were talking about didn't really affect me in any way. I was just kind of reading it and it was just there. Which is a shame because there's so much going on. There's loads of scandal and heartbreak, grief, so many different characters that have these really close relationships with each other that I should have felt something for, but I just didn't because I felt like it was maybe a little bit too simplified. And then talking about characters as well, I know I just said that Reid is really good at creating amazing characters. They usually feel very realistic. I felt like every single character in this book was almost too flawed, like they had too much going on. For me, it didn't feel realistic, and I also thought that most of them were really bad people. Obviously, this is going to be complete personal preference. You might read them and think that they're amazing and really interesting characters, but I honestly just hated all of them. The two main characters, which are basically the two main singers in the band, I just despised them, and I thought that their connection with each other and the way they interacted was really toxic and just really hard to read. I didn't enjoy it at all. And I also really didn't like Daisy Jones, who again is one of the lead singers. I felt that she was just really spoiled and bratty, and she did have problems, and I completely understand that, but I just honestly felt like she was a bit of a bad person and not the kind of person that I wanted to read about. So yeah, overall for me it was quite disappointing, but at the same time I did quite enjoy reading it. But then again, I haven't kept it. I have actually already donated it, so it's somewhere else in the UK now, or maybe in the world. I gave it to a book swap so someone else can enjoy it and hopefully love it a bit more than I did. But yeah, I'm sorry to be a bit of a downer on this one. But I would be really interested to see, if you've read this, what you thought of it. And do you agree with any of the things that I said? Do you disagree? Let me know down below and we can have a chat about it because I've not really been able to talk to anyone about this yet. But yeah, that is it for me today. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!